So we all know the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. What do you think it takes to raise a child, Christine?
A lot of patience, love, and lots of people around you to support.
Yeah. Hi everybody, I'm Nicky Sloan. I'm the CEO of Community Industry Group, and I'm coming to you today from the beautiful lands of the Darabal people to bring you Community Matters, the podcast that explores issues that are important in the community with people who are making a difference. And today I'm being joined by a woman who is making a huge difference, Christine Wilde, who is a foster carer with CareSouth, and not just a foster carer, has been a foster carer for 27 years and has cared for 15 children in that time. So a very special person. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you firstly for the amazing work that you've done for all these years.
Thank you for having me.
So Christine, what started you on the foster care journey?
A newspaper advert. It was advertising for two little boys that were living under a bridge in a car. We read it many years ago. They used to advertise like this. We read it and decided we had a home big enough and plenty of space. So we did the fostering course, and we actually started off with those two little boys. Yeah. So that was our journey. That was our start.
That was your start.
Yeah.
And when you foster, do you foster children for a short time? Is it just temporary care? Or?
Mainly long term. Most of our children have stayed with us up to 17 years plus.
Wow.
We have done a little bit of emergency care. We did some respite care. We've also had children that aren't our culture but needed some nursing care until they could go to another long-term carer. Yeah.
Right. So children from a different cultural background.
We try to place with the culture that they've been raised in.
Yeah. And you said they need a little bit of nursing care, and that's because you are in fact a nurse, is that right?
I was a nurse many years ago. Many years ago, and then went into childcare.
Right.
Yeah.
The children who come to you, what are the circumstances that cause them to come into your care?
Usually neglect, abuse, alcohol, unfortunately mental health sometimes. It's normally a circle of things, can be various. Yeah.
And do you get to meet the birth parents as well?
I do, because I make a point of it, and most carers, I think, should try if they can. Sometimes it can be a bit awkward with the birth parents, but I think it's really important for the children that they see you on the same team.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be close friends, but civil and present.
Yeah. So do the children in your care get to see their birth parents during the time you're caring for them?
Yeah. I've always encouraged it, maintained it best we can. Parents don't always show up when they should, but we keep trying and trying.
Yeah.
And as they've got older, we've allowed overnight stays, if it's safe to do so, and not monthly visits, but as often as they want to, providing it's safe and can be done.
Yeah. Because as you say, often these parents have very complicated lives, don't they?
Yeah.
Nobody has a child and wants to give their child up. It's because of a very complicated set of circumstances.
Quite often they've been through trauma as children themselves, I've found.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but some of them have actually had hard lives themselves prior to having children. So it's a bit of a circle that's not been broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you approach those parents with empathy.
I do. Because it's not their fault in a lot of ways. It's an illness. And it takes a very strong person to get off drugs or get their mental health seen to, and not always possible.
No.
Yeah, not always possible.
As you said, it's often a cycle too, and maybe there's some trauma or maybe there's some mental health issues. People turn to drugs or alcohol to self-medicate, then they become addicted, and then often there's a deterioration.
Yeah. And unfortunately that's where the neglect comes in for the children, because they're not functioning as adults should. And unfortunately the children pay the price.
Yeah. So what ages do children typically come to you?
I've never had newborns. Our youngest was 14 months.
Wow, that's young.
They're normally between 2 and 3 we've taken them. But we've had older children come and stay long term, 6 and 7. And the children we've got at the moment came at 6 and 7 and 14 months and 3. So we've had them quite a while now. Yeah.
So that's 2 sets of siblings?
2 sets of siblings, boy and girl, and 2 girls.
Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful.
They will stay with me long term now as well.
So when you say stay long term, how long would that be?
Till they're ready to leave. Whatever age they finish school, get jobs, independent living.
Yeah. And have all of the children that you have fostered over the years, have they all left to get a job?
They're all adults now. Yeah, they're all adults, the other group. They're all grown up, doing their own things now. But we still keep contact. They still ring me. We're still there for them.
Oh, yeah. That's wonderful. What is the biggest challenge of being a foster carer?
I think when children come into care, the expectation for some is that they're going to be these little bundles of joy.
Yeah.
They've got to remember that these children come from a very traumatic background. So the first 6 to 12 months, you're really learning about each other and their needs and putting things in place for them. That can be quite challenging. And I found the biggest challenge is teenagers, 14, 15, even though they've been with you for many, many years. That's when their past rears its head.
Right.
And they start questioning, why was I moved? Why didn't I live with Mum? And you've got a different type of challenge at that age. But we've managed to walk through it with most of them. And they've been okay.
I think many of us who are parents would say that teenagers are challenging, even when they're your own
children.
So add that other complication on, and
they start looking for answers. Which is natural, really. So you've got to be quite delicate how you handle that, because you really don't want to play their parents down, but at the same time be as truthful as possible, and let them make their own minds up, really.
Yeah, wow. That is a really tricky path to navigate, I think.
Yeah, if you've built the relationship with the child all them years, they start asking different bits. So just feed them what they know, or what, in little bits, until they want the whole story.
Yeah, right.
Until they're of an age where they can, a little bit more life smart, can understand, that it probably wasn't their parents' fault.
No.
It was just that they couldn't do any better at the time.
Yeah. So you have obviously learnt this over time.
Yeah.
What kinds of supports are there for foster carers?
I run a support group for our carers.
Right.
We meet once a month with coffee. My mobile number's always out to all our carers. They're allowed to ring me pretty much any time if they need help. A good caseworker is the best thing you can have. And luckily I've had some absolute brilliant ones. But again, you have to build that relationship.
And so could you explain for listeners what role the caseworker plays in this whole...
They do all the paperwork and the things that we don't ever see. There's a lot of red tape, like schools, preschools, a lot of red tape. They have to know the children are safe, they're being nurtured, they're being educated, their emotional needs are being taken care of. There's so much, the health specialists if you need them, therapists if you need them, they can access all that for you.
Right.
And assist you to do this. Plus, we've got our own clinical team. They can also access things for you or guide you if you're not sure. So the caseworker plays a big role.
Right.
And if she befriends them children and really listens, then I always say to my children, you know, who would you go to if you needed to tell somebody something? Who would be the go-to adult? And the caseworkers are always named.
Right.
Or a parent or a teacher. So they need to build that rapport with the child. It's very important. Very important.
And you run a group for carers. So how many carers would you...
It can vary depending what they're doing. Some are kinship carers, some are carers like myself. Some aren't even with our agency, but we encourage them to come. It started off because I was mentoring some carers.
Yeah, right.
And really they didn't need a mentor. They needed somewhere where they could just speak freely without being judged.
Right.
Because quite often, unfortunately, some carers think a caseworker's going to remove a child if they say something, you know, or think they're not coping with something.
Right.
So they just need somewhere to vent. Once we started the little coffee group, most of them have made friends now.
Yeah.
You know, if you've had a bad day, you can say, oh, what a day. You know, and nobody judges you. Because we get bad days even with birth children.
Yes, of course. And you do, of course, have a child of your own.
I've got 4 birth children of my own.
4 birth children?
4. 7 grandchildren and 7 great-grandchildren now.
Wow. So were your children at home when you first started fostering?
My 3 oldest children live in Europe.
Right.
And then I had a 20-year gap and had another child.
Wow.
So she's 31 now. And she was raised with all of these children.
Yeah. Wow, what an experience for her.
Yeah. She was a big sister to most of them.
Oh,
yeah.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
And she's gone on to follow in your footsteps and become a nurse.
She's a nurse now, yeah. She works in Wollongong, yeah. She's a nurse with her own child now, who's 10 months old. Yeah. So, busy lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we talked about the challenges of fostering, but you have fostered 15 children, mostly long-term. What are the benefits? What are the joys of fostering?
Seeing them thrive and become children again. Because quite often they come like little mothers. They've been feeding themselves, trying to do everything for themselves. So watching them thrive and become children and enjoy birthdays and Christmas and Easter, things they'd not really had before, what we take for granted. You know, one of our young boys used to get up every morning, put his school shirt over his head, and I go, what are you doing? He was smelling his clothing.
Oh.
I love the smell of clean clothes. Little things like that are so rewarding.
Yeah.
Things we take for granted. You know, and seeing them get through school and become good adults and knowing you broke that cycle is the biggest gift. I believe, that they're not going to follow their parents' footsteps.
Yeah, wow. Wow, that is an incredible legacy, I think.
Yeah, if we can get that done, then the next generation won't go through the same thing.
Because I think as parents, that's all we can hope, is that you raise a good human. And you've raised, 19 good humans, really.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Hopefully, yeah. But that's all we can ask for with even our birth children, you know, that they lead good lives and they're good people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always said we don't care if you empty dustbins or you're the Prime Minister, as long as you're a good person and you've got, a job that you can maintain your lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. I've told my children the same.
Yeah.
All jobs are important.
They are.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. Just do it with integrity, because all jobs are important.
That's all we've ever asked of them, really. To be kind and be good people. Yeah.
How do you afford to raise an additional 15 children?
Well, we for a long time both worked anyway. We were both working parents. And the care allowance was quite basic then. So we were able to increase the funding by working ourselves and raise them like our other children. But today the government have changed the care allowance now, and it's actually gone up quite substantially. Quite a lot of money compared to what it was. Still not enough to give you a hookup, but it certainly contributes to raising a child now.
Right.
And they also brought another very important one out now. Between the age of 18 and 21, there is a small care allowance to help assist a child go to uni or start work or apprenticeships, things like that. So they can actually stay within the foster care home.
Oh, wonderful. So they don't have to leave at 18?
No, well, no child has to leave at 18.
Right.
That would depend on where they live and the carers, obviously. But that care allowance certainly helps while they're going to uni or starting an apprenticeship on a low wage or things like that. But the care allowance now it went up something like $178 a fortnight, which is quite substantial to what it was. And I think that will be indexed. Yeah. So it's certainly more on the cost of living today.
So if anybody was listening today and thinking, I might be interested in being a foster carer, what would your advice be?
Do it. Most people, it doesn't matter what walk of life you're from, whether you're single, married, gay, straight, it doesn't matter. These children don't need a lot. They need somebody to show up, be there, be present. Give them boundaries, give them love. They don't need much more. They just need a home where people can be there. Yeah. As hard as it gets, keep showing up. Yeah.
And what about for people for whom long-term fostering is maybe not an option? Are there all different?
There's all different types of fostering. There's respite, there's short-term. We've got an Aunties and Uncles program where you can just have a child for 3 or 4 hours on a weekend, give them an outing or read books with them or go through homework. There's lots of ways to get involved in fostering, and you don't always have to foster the child. Support a foster child, support a foster person. Offer to take the kids to the park for an hour. You don't have to have them long term.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a long term thing. Very few foster parents do long term straight away anyway, because it's an unknown.
Yeah.
You start off with short term, and if it works for you and you think you can do long term, then that's up to you to do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of foster parents now adopt.
Right.
The adoption laws changed many years ago now. After they've had a child 2 or 3 years, they can legally adopt with permission from parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it can lead to many different avenues.
And the relationship with the birth parents, is it usually a good relationship?
It's usually a hard one to start with because they're quite resentful. You've got their child, and you've got to understand that.
Yeah.
But if you're polite and just keep hacking away a little bit, it can become an okay relationship.
Yeah.
And it's important for the children to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a parent be able to settle their life and if they've been on drugs, to be able to kick that and come back and take their own child
I've had
back?
one parent out of the 9 long-term previous children that managed to succeed, but it took her 7 years to do.
Wow.
She never took her child back, but we had a good relationship.
Yeah.
And we still do, and he's a grown man now.
Yeah.
So, but she wouldn't remove him because he was the only mum and dad that he'd known.
Right.
So, but we were all on the same boat, and we maintained a really good relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are incredible stories. I'm absolutely blown away at what you've contributed. I feel like, what have I done with my life?
Yeah.
I haven't contributed in any way like you have. It's amazing work. So I just want to say thank you for all that you've done, and of course your husband too. Because he's obviously played a big part in this.
He has, yeah. He's been the male role model, if you like, with the boys and the girls. And watching how a married couple should be does have an impact on these children, especially the ones that have been through domestic violence and things like that. To be able to see a man and woman, how they should interact, plays a big part as well.
Yeah. But do you have to be a married couple?
No. You can be anybody. Single, male, female.
Is there an age limit or?
Well, no, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. No, there's no age limit. There's no age limit whatsoever. You don't even have to have had your own birth children. We've got carers that don't have their own children. Yeah. That are still doing it.
Yeah. There's so many opportunities.
There is. There's lots of opportunities. Anybody interested, try it. Go and do the course.
Yeah.
Speak to other foster carers. That's the best way to find out more.
Fantastic. Well, what you are doing absolutely matters to the community, and this podcast is called Community Matters. Can you tell us about someone in the community that matters to you?
I think my daughter's been our greatest support. With other children, she's accepted them, shared us over the years, helped them with homework, emotional support when they've started with the boys and the girls, the girlfriends and things like that, and even driving them when she first learnt to drive, taking them to the movies, things like that. So they felt very, very included as part of a family. And she still supports us today. Even though she thinks we're absolutely mad for still having more, but she still is that support. And I've got a lot of good friends that have always accepted what I do.
Yeah, right.
And that's really, really important because you can alienate yourself. People in my age group especially, their grandchildren are like older now and they're doing, lunch dates and all this, whereas I'm still raising children.
Yeah.
But that's my choice. And my friends accept that. So,
yeah. And your daughter must be an exceptional person because it must be hard to share your mum and dad with all of these different people. That must have been really challenging.
But we always made time, a little bit of time, to make sure she was special, if you know what I mean. But no different than the other children. They all have the same rules, same consequences, same routine. And they just grew up together. She's still in contact with all of them.
Yeah. You must be a master at routine.
Yes. I think I've got a bit of OCD. We do have a very good routine because I think children, especially when they've come from homes that didn't have anything, they follow routine really well if it's the same.
Right.
Consistent. Until they get of an age where they can make their own routines. So we do have routine, up, breakfast, school bags packed, wash, teeth, uniforms, ready for school. Yeah, it is. But it works for us.
Yeah.
It works for us.
Yeah. Well, kids need to know the rules. I can remember my son as a very little boy saying, I just need to understand the rule.
Yeah. And I think for most of these children, knowing what's coming next is so important for them, especially when they first come into care. They need that routine to know what's expected.
Yeah.
So it's not the unknown. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I think that you could not only be a mentor for those carers, but I think you'd be a great mentor for any parents out there.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
As I said, thank you for all you do.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us today on Community Matters, and thank you for joining us for Community Matters, the podcast where we explore issues that are important in our community with people like Christine who are making an absolute difference. Please do like us, share this video, leave us a review, and tune in next time for more Community Matters.